Yo, TCK Potters, it's Dewey's Nuts here. This is not an official show, but I was doing some research for this week's upcoming live events. Bobby LaMarco and I are going to be jumping on here this week to do the AFC coaching changes episode. We hit the NFC last week, hit an AFC this week, and I was doing some of my research here, and I just wanted to jump on to point out just a little preview for you guys, point out something that, you know, when I'm doing this research, surprised me and excited me, and I just wanted to put it out there today before we do our official shows this week. Maybe give you an idea of what we're looking at here. For today, I'm not looking at one of the new coaches, right? I did some research on an old coach. In fact, looking at Baltimore, and in 2019, Greg Roman was hired in to take over as offensive coordinator for the Baltimore Ravens, to sort of run the Lamar Jackson show out there, right? To help change the entirety of what that offense looked like for John Harbaugh. So Roman was picked, I should say, because he is historically one of the run-friendliest offensive coordinators in the league, like in the history of the league. This guy loves to run the ball, knows how to run the ball, and he was hired because they wanted this team to be a run-first offense, sometimes with the quarterback, sometimes with the running backs that they also spent money on going into that season. So when you look back and think back, some things that stood out to me in the research that made me really excited, even for 2021 going into it, is this. I will be 40 years old this year, okay? I was born in 1981. In the entirety of my lifetime, there's only ever been one offensive coordinator to take an offense to a 3,000 rush yard season as a team. And that offensive coordinator is Greg Roman, and he's now done it 2 years in a row in Baltimore. Okay, that cannot be overstated. This guy has taken his offense to 3,000 rushing yards 2 years in a row. That's the only 2 times it's happened in my life. I think if you go back to the 70s, there's 2 or 3 teams. I think the Patriots in 78 did it as well. But that's a long fucking time. And Greg Roman has now done it 2 years in a row. Okay, look, 3,071 yards last year. That's 400 yards more than the next best. 555 attempts. That's 35 attempts more than the next best last season. The team as a whole, 5.5 yards per carry. Okay, that happens to be number 4 all time, right? Like his last two seasons were number 4 and 5 all time in team yards per rushing attempt. This guy knows how to put a rush game together, and it's not just Lamar Jackson. Some of you are watching this thinking, obviously, Lamar Jackson runs the ball, Dweez. We don't need you to tell us that. But there were 3 guys on the team that had 6 freaking rushing touchdowns last year. There were 3 guys on the team last year who had more than 700 yards rushing. There were 3 guys on the team last year who went over 5 yards per carry. You can take all those things, and guess what happened fucking last year, or the year before as well, in 2019. 3 guys over 700 yards. 3 guys at or above 5 yards per carry. This guy knows how to put a rush game together. I say that to say, look, when you're coming up on your drafts or when you're in your dynasty leagues trying to figure out who you want to make a move for, J.K. Dobbins should absolutely fucking be one of those guys. Even if he's the second best rusher on that team, we're looking at a guaranteed 700 yards and 5, 6 or more rushing touchdowns. Mark Ingram's out of the picture now, so that's more work for him. Right now, Dobbins is going at the 3-4 turn. Okay, he's going at 312. You can't tell me there's not value at least 700 yards and 6 rushing touchdowns for a guy like Dobbins at the end of the 3rd round in redraft leagues. He is an early first round trade value, I think, maybe the 1-4 in dynasty leagues. And then you look at a guy like Gus Edwards, who now 2 years in a row has been in that 700 club under Greg Roman's offense. They like him. They kept him when they got rid of Ingram. He's going at the tail end of the 11th round. Let's say he regresses to 450 or 500 rushing yards with some inconsistency, maybe some injury time, but manages another 4 or 5 touchdowns. Like, that is an insane value for that position as well. Fuck, take Dobbins and Gus Edwards as a handcuff that you can slide in during bye weeks. This rush offense is an offense you should want a part of, and it's not just Lamar Jackson, okay? I know people are going to shy away from the offense altogether after the poor performance, at least passing-wise, that Lamar put up last season, but Greg Roman is probably the best run game offensive coordinator of my lifetime, which probably means your lifetime because I'm older than you are, and you want pieces of that offense. Okay, it's historic what we're seeing right now, guys. It has never happened 2 years in a row for any team 3,000 plus yards. Go get them. Go get the pieces. Spend what it's going to take to pick up these pieces. Buy into what we saw at the end of the year last year from J.K. Dobbins, because his coach ain't changing. Okay, his coach ain't changing. And he's got room to run now that Ingram's out of the way. It's only Gus Edwards and Lamar Jackson fighting for time. And he has proven, Greg Roman has, that 3 guys can be extremely productive in his offense. So go make that happen. Again, this is just a preview of what we're going to do in our Coaching Changes episode. We'll go through each one of the teams in the AFC over the course of this week. We'll tell you all about the new coaches that are coming into teams and what they're likely to do to your fantasy pieces. We'll hit on some of the, second-year coaches that we see in the AFC North, for example. I think we're going to do that Monday or Tuesday, and give you an idea what to expect. We're going to just kind of briefly talk about every team and then spend some time diving deep into the guys that you probably don't know much about right now to give you an inside track. Coaches matter for fantasy players, probably more than just about anything else. All right, that's it for this quick hitter. Greg Roman, Baltimore Ravens rush offense. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for checking it out. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Watch for live shit popping up here on Twitter, whether you're with us on Facebook, whether you're on the website or YouTube, whatever. We're coming at you. That's it for me. Peace out. Go Ravens.